I'm Darcy, here with Jimmy and Dan. Dan's giving us a tour of the shop, it looks like. Oh, there's Bobby.
There's a little kitty cat.
Yeah, my little tater was running around here trying to knock the camera over, but she looks to have moved on. All right. Bobby's doing the show tonight with us.
She's gonna show us how
Yeah.
to proper clean ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. If she had balls, she'd be licking them right now.
Nice.
I wish I could lick my back like that.
Oh man, I can't hardly even
Yeah.
just reach my back to scrub it in the shower. Shoulders don't work very good anymore.
Right?
Oh man. All right. What are you drinking tonight, Jimmy?
I have Harp Lager from
Nice.
the Browns Irish Marketplace. It was left over from St. Patrick's Day.
Excellent. Dan,
What about you?
what do you got going tonight?
Jim's Lager from Brad's Beginner Brews, the non-existent YouTube and TikTok live stream.
Ah, okay. But could be maybe. Oh yeah, there's
Could
one
be.
of Rob's beer glasses.
You remember that, Dan? Are you with us, Dan?
Bad. Wait. What is that? I can't see it. Tell me. Describe it to me. Bad neighbor. Is that right?
Bad Neighbor
Compliments of Rob
IPA.
Mock right there.
Ah. Oh, he didn't know he was buying people beer glasses though when he bought those.
And I've got a little Glendalough Irish whiskey going tonight in a mason jar because that's how I like it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep. Everybody should have this in their cabinet.
Agreed. And I don't have it in mine
Mm,
because I drank it all.
that's because you're a bad neighbor, just like your cup says. Mm. Well, since last week, what has happened? I had an unfortunate end of last week,
Uh-oh.
and that being a fox came and wiped out 5 of my chickens all in one shot. I know you guys already know this because I speak to you other than only on Tuesday evenings, but man, it got a bunch of them.
That's a bummer.
So now, now I'm a little bit just wondering when it's going to happen again. Because 5 chickens, that's about 18%, 17% of my chicken population. So that's not gonna, that'll go down pretty quick if it keeps giving
And
5 at a shot.
one of those chickens was a special chicken.
One of those chickens was special to someone, yes.
To someone, yeah. He
Uh,
was very sad about it because I had dinner with him that evening. He was pretty upset.
I texted him and he said, "No way. Pictures or I don't believe it."
Yep. Yep. It was sad for him.
Old Garcia. R.I.P. That's what I texted him. I texted R.I.P. Garcia. That's it.
Wasn't it? Didn't he call it Darcia?
That's so initially he said that's what his kids wanted to name it. And he
Oh,
was like,
okay.
no, that's dumb.
We're gonna call it Garcia. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, Garcia. He was a good one. He was a friendly feller.
Oh, I know. Yep. Little limpy dude. He
Had
was
that
funny
one limp
watching him.
leg.
It was funny watching him run around the yard.
Well, he ran one last time when that fox was chasing him.
I know. Yep. Oh, man.
You should get those little cages, those little cages that the people put their chickens in when they're out free ranging.
Oh, like where they can just roll around.
They just roll around and pick at the grass and whatnot, but then the
Nothing can
predators
get
can't
'em.
get them because they're in that cage.
It seems pretty funny. I guess
Can
I'd
you imagine what that would look like out in your yard? You look out and see like 15
30
little,
of them.
yeah, 30 little balls rolling around the yard.
Yep. Might have to try it. Yeah. What was your week like?
My week was moving a lot of rocks. That's how I
Oh
started
yeah.
off my week. Um, I did that, but fortunately we had Jeremy's loader to unload them, so that made that part real easy. Did that on Monday. What's today? Tuesday. What did I do? Oh, I worked over at Deer's house, replacing that or fixing that window thing. Nothing crazy. Looks like we get to watch a cat clean all night long.
Mm-hmm. Dan, what are you working on?
Well, I put way too much time this weekend to slabbing up all of that walnut lumber
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Granted, I picked it up on Saturday and it's all done now, but I probably have 6 hours into it, I would say.
That's pretty cool.
And
though.
yeah, it's a lot of work. I ended up buying a actual chainsaw chain sharpener from Harbor Freight, like a countertop mounted one.
Oh yeah.
And I always thought that they were kind of a gimmick, but they are much easier to get your chain consistently sharpened with, as long as you're willing to take your chain off of your saw and take it over to the bench. It's only about a 2-minute project getting it sharpened. So it just made sense after a while. I switched actually from where I had shown you, Darcy, I switched down to the 16-inch bar from the 20, took off the extra section, just to make the thing lighter weight and a little easier to control.
Yeah.
And 16-inch bar could do 12. If I took the dogs off of the chainsaw, I could actually expand it out another inch. And I think that a 16 or 18-inch blade for that saw power is probably about ideal. 20 is actually pushing it. So
now
I think getting a larger bar wouldn't help.
Yeah, with that saw size.
Right.
So now
I mean, it's not a little saw, but it's not big enough for that project.
right. It just doesn't have the horsepower to eat through a bigger bar. So now what? Now
Correct.
it's got to sit and dry. Are you going to try to like build you or yourself a little makeshift kiln, or try to speed it up at all, or is that just kind of like a winter project now?
Well, I have watched more than a couple videos, and it seems to be that even if you were going to kiln dry something like what I have, it would behoove you to let it air dry for a while, because walnut holds its color better and its texture better if you let it air dry for a while. So it might be the better part of this year that I let it dry before I even try to put it in a kiln to speed up the end process.
What are you doing with this wood?
I am gonna build some. There's two major categories of project that I'm wanting to do with slabbed up logs. One is I want to make coffee tables and nightstands for our Airbnb property to replace the cheap like particle board ones that we have there. And the second is, so they're going to be just a slab of wood with live edge on it, and then like those black, I think they call them hairpin legs, pretty thin black metal legs. So just a very simple build out. And then the other, so then I'll put a price tag on them, and if somebody wants to buy them, they can take them with them from the Airbnb. I don't know how often that would happen, but yeah, you never know. Once in a while, somebody might buy one. And the second is I plan to cut the back of a bunch of them flat and use them as shelving in our new house.
Nice.
It looks like Darcy's reconnecting. Is that just me?
Man, I see a lot of crazy stuff going on my screen right here. I may have to do this thing by myself tonight. I think we've lost Darcy.
Darcy gone again. How's that possible? He's the one hosting this. Weird.
You back, Darcy?
There he is
I've
again.
been able to tell that Dan was talking most of the time.
Really? You were gone for me most of the time.
Huh. But I have no idea what Dan has said over the last. I can hear about
So you're
8 syllables out of every 30 seconds.
Oh boy.
Now nothing. I don't know what's going on. Lots of
my
connecting and reconnecting.
phone says that Darcy, you are currently reconnecting. I can see Dan just fine at the moment.
I'm crazy here, guys.
Now I'm by myself, so I guess this is the Not Your Average Jimmy podcast. Oh man. Technical difficulties everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know how it's this bad tonight.
I don't know. This is
It's
by
like it
far the
just
worst
gets-
I've seen so far.
It's like it just gets worse and worse every week.
I mean, what is it? Is it?
I don't know.
Are you using your Wi-Fi or are you using your phone internet?
Oh, I guess I'm on my Wi-Fi probably, but I can.
I'm using my Wi-Fi.
I mean, my Wi-Fi is right in my bedroom, which is right there.
I'm hearing you and me talk again for two times.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe on my end it was my Wi-Fi being weird. Are you holding super still, or are you, oh, now you're just black screen there?
Me?
Yeah.
You asking me that, or Jimmy?
Am I gone?
Jimmy.
Your screen is still there, but it's black.
Every once in a while, you guys do the same thing for me, and if I minimize and then re-go in, it comes back for some reason. So I don't know what that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I don't know if I'm here, but I am now within 2 feet of my internet box.
That's not close enough, Dan.
What is your?
Apparently not.
Can you try 1 foot?
What is your?
I could crawl into the shelving back there. I don't know out here in the barn because I have a router out here.
If nothing else, people can watch us and be like, man, those guys have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, but nobody's watching us anyways.
But the good thing is nobody's watching, so.
But they're probably going to soon because I had like another 1.2 thousand views on my YouTube channel this week again.
It's crazy.
That's wild. That thing.
At some point.
They'll click on us and start watching, and we'll start going viral, and they can make fun of us.
They'll be like, "What's this other stuff on this guy's channel?" We watched this red-tailed hawk and a bald eagle thing enough. Let's listen to some buffoonery.
I feel like if I just stay silent, everything seems to run smoothly, and if I start to talk, it just jacks it all up.
Dang. That's not good.
No.
So far,
I'm just here for the ride, I guess.
It seems to be working. I can hear Dan. I can see Dan. I can hear Darcy. I can see Darcy. I can see Dan.
I can see his cat.
Really? I see Dan. He's got his headphones on.
You can still see the cat?
Yes.
What?
Can anyone?
You're still seeing the cat?
No.
It's been like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, the cat was gone a long time ago.
Oh, I did not know that.
I don't think this is just me, guys.
Nope.
I
don't think this is just me.
I think maybe you're right. Darcy, try minimizing.
Well, I kind of wanted to have a conversation about something.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't know if it's going to happen.
What are you minimizing?
Oh, boy.
Go
Dan
for
has
it, Dan.
started talking again. Dan is trying to talk, but it ain't working. I can see his lips moving, but that's about it. Now, what is happening? This is going to need some major editing.
I don't know. Oh, new rule. Mike, you have to mute yourself whenever you're not talking. Well, okay. So I'm only going to talk about this because nobody watches this YouTube channel. Okay. But I got myself into I don't know if it's a philosophical or moral dilemma today. And I fixed it by just going with my gut on what I should do. But a customer of mine found out because I told them that I do windows and doors and I do Andersen windows and doors. And they said, oh, well, we were kind of wanting you to look at, I'm paraphrasing a lot of things. We were kind of wanting you to look at this bid we got from Andersen Renewal on our doors and window. And we were going to let them do this door that you had said you would do, but you haven't gotten to yet, if you are not able to get to it. And I was like, well, I do doors and I do windows. Why don't I just bid the whole thing? So they emailed me the bid from the other contractor. Okay. So I know what the other contractor is charging. Okay. And here's the problem. I got the estimate from my supplier and I did my labor and I up. And I wound up being $12,000 cheaper for 1 week of work. Did you get all that?
Substantial.
So I have always kind of had this, there's two sides of it. I don't think that you should just pump your price up just because you know that you could get it, especially when somebody trusts you. But I kind of hate to undercut competition by that much money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel dumb just undercutting them by that much, a little bit. So what's the right answer? Or is there a different way of thinking about it that doesn't make that the question? And then I'll tell you what I ended up doing.
Man, I missed a lot of that. I don't know what. I heard somebody with $12,000 different.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't.
And I'm just generalizing here. It's something like
you were $12,000 more, or they were $12,000 more.
They were $12,000 more for 1 week of work than I was.
Dang.
And I don't know about you, but I don't usually make $12,000 a month, or a week doing carpentry.
I don't usually make $12,000 a week ever.
Right, me either. Maybe we should.
Maybe we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe we're doing something wrong. That's what it makes me think, is I'm doing something wrong. So what do you think? So here was Jimmy, if you can hear me at this point. The dilemma was, I don't want to undercut competition by that much money because I don't think that's good for, like, it either makes me look like I have an inferior product, or it makes the market, it actually pulls the market for that service down lower. Does that make sense?
Yep.
But I don't know how to, I couldn't figure out a way to justify getting them to spend that much money either for the same product.
What's your basic breakdown per window?
Mine compared to theirs?
No, like what are you charging? Just like rough figure, like, basically about $1,000 a window or whatever. Like, do you have a number like that?
Well, these particular windows are costing me over $1,000 each.
Okay.
They're expensive windows.
What's your
But so
like,
each
what's
window
your
is
normal markup on a window like that?
well, one of the theories that I have that I developed, that I got from Kevin was you don't want to ever charge somebody less for install and after material cost than the cost of the window itself. Part of the reason for that is because if you break it, you're going to be replacing it.
Yep.
Because it's not the customer's fault. So if a window's $1,000, you need to charge another $1,000 to backstop for your own good, to make sure that if you broke that window, at least you wouldn't be spending money to give them a window. You'd just be working for free.
Right.
So if a window is, let's say that a window is a vinyl window and it's $250, I don't want to charge less than $250 to install it. If a window's a $900 window, I don't want to charge less than $900 to install it, because it doesn't make sense. Like, that's not a good business practice to shoot yourself in the foot like that, right? So fortunately for the installer, the company putting them in, more expensive windows means more profit, because it really doesn't take that much more time. It does take more time to install nice windows, but not, 3 times more time. Right? And then I don't have.
Are you charging labor and then you are making money on the window also?
Say that again.
Are you charging a labor fee to install the window and making money on the window?
Yes, I am. I'm making money. I'm making a profit on the whole project, and I'm making enough money for install that if I had to pay somebody else to do it besides me, I could still make money. So I'll make wages for installing and I'll make profit for owning the company.
Yep.
Or I'll pay somebody else wages and I'll make profit. One of the two.
And after doing all of that, you're $12,000 behind the other guys?
$12,000. Right.
Wow.
And I don't remember looking offhand, but I'm also, I think, if I remember right, because I put together a couple of bids for them, I think that I'm actually putting in, at $12,000 cheaper, I'm actually putting in a door that is costing me $5,000. In addition to their, no, that's not right. That's not how the numbers work. I'm putting in, it's apples to apples is $12,000. The same 6 windows and a door. I'm only coming up with justifiable charges that are $12,000 less than theirs. Right? So, but like I said, I don't like to undercut somebody by that much, because that makes me look bad. I think it makes me look bad, or it makes them look bad, depending on how you look at it, depending on how the customer looks at it. But I have a hard time just arbitrarily deciding to charge more. Like,
I don't know. Have you done other work for these people, this customer?
Yeah, I built them a $30,000 deck last year. Yeah, I've done.
that
They've been good customers.
I think I would just tell them. I would maybe bump up your bid a little bit, and then say, listen, I don't know if it's because of their, TV advertisements that they've got to pay for, or all, they have a big advertising budget. Renewal by Andersen flyers are in everyone's mailbox in the Kansas City metro area 4 times a year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They have TV spots all the time. Obviously they have a bigger overhead, and apparently they just are expensive. And they're getting, I would venture a guess to say, better quality install with you at a cheaper price.
Oh, I would guarantee it. I guarantee it.
And just say, I understand that this is weird, and tell them the exact same thing. Like, I don't love the feel of undercutting them like this. I'm not trying to say that they're bad people. They've got plenty more expenses than you do. But you can do it for a lot cheaper.
What is the total number on the job? The original, like the other bid.
Their bid?
Yeah.
Something to the tune of $38,000.
So, they're probably just hiring whatever the company they hire to do it. Like they would hire you and then they just double it, type of thing.
Oh, that, like if they did it, possibly. I figured it was about I don't remember what percentage of markup it would have been, but yeah, they might have like a subcontractor like me that does it, and that's the money that's higher is their advertising, sales, operating. Yeah. If that's the case, I want to just go work for them because I don't want to do sales anymore. I want to get really good money that I think of as like install plus profit for a business kind of money, and then not have to do sales and just have them. They can line me up with that job every week. Because being fully honest, I didn't like cut my throat on it. I will make good money on it.
So that's what you want to do, Dan? Because I think H&R might be hiring.
They are not going to pay me this kind of money to install for them. The thing is, like, if I was, I'm trying to think, if I had an install crew, I would expect them to get this job done in 6 days. And the thing is, like, the total install cost wouldn't be more than $6,000 for this job, like paying others to do it. That's what's crazy. So here's a couple details, and I'll tell you what I did, and you tell me if you think this was the right move, because they already texted me and said that I have the job, like, tonight, and I sent it to them this afternoon. I went out of my way to get them a bid for Anderson's A series windows, the best windows that Anderson sells for homes. And I ran the numbers on A series, and A series is pretty close to their price. It's like 10,000 more than what I want to charge them, right? And I sent them my quote for windows that are similar to what they would install, and then I sent them a quote for A series, and I said, look, you've already said you might go with their bid. I'm telling you that if you're going to spend almost 40,000, then this is the window you want to spend that kind of money on, not this window. And I put the two different price points. And so then she's like, well, what's your professional opinion? I'm like, in my opinion, quality wise and everything, unless you really want a wood interior finish, 100 series window is a great window. You know, Lowy, smart sun glass, the color you want, like, it's a great window, and it's comparable to the window that they're quoting you. But if you want to spend the higher dollar, I'm happy to sell you the best window that Anderson sells for, like, they sell E series, which is like their like commercial grade stuff. Like, that's their super premium.
All right.
But A series is like the best. So what do you think? What do you think about that?
Here's what I think you should do. I think 38,000 is what the original bid was. Say, I will do it for 36,000. Just the exact same job, 36,000. And then you, Dan, will give Darcy and I each $5,000.
For consulting.
That sounds like a plan. For consulting.
Yes.
Well, I have to pay my consultant fees, so that's where this comes in.
Those guys will be saving $2,000, and Darcy and I will be getting an extra $5,000.
What I ended up doing is I ended up quoting them what I thought was a very profitable but reasonable amount. And they were happy with the idea of saving $11,000. And I just couldn't, like, maybe someday I'll grow to believe in myself so much that I'll be like, nope, that's a good price, 38 grand for 6 windows and a door. But today I don't have that kind of belief in I don't have that kind of belief in windows as a product. Because, you know what I mean? Like, people are selling windows like, oh, you spend $20,000 on windows, you're going to save so much money on your energy bills. You ain't never saving $20,000.
Right.
Like, never. Like, that's not why you're doing this. You're doing this because your windows are rotting out of the holes, and you want to save your house from, you know, becoming decrepit.
Yeah.
Dilapidation, right. When people ask me about the energy, I'm like, the energy stuff is a byproduct of getting new windows. It is not why you should buy new windows, because let's just be honest. How soon are you going to save even $10,000 off your energy bill when the windows is only going to affect your energy bill by 5%?
Right.
Yeah.
Or 10%. So I'm not a good salesman in that regard. I'm just too honest with people about stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I've done the same thing on a smaller scale. I just, like, people will show me a bid, and I'll be like, well, I can do it for X amount of dollars, and that's the money I like to make, and I'm happy, and if they're happy, then we're good.
Yeah. And you don't worry about the fact that you feel like part of you doesn't feel like I'm leaving money on the table.
Right. I'm just like, that's the money I want to make. So it's good with me.
Yeah. Like, I'm not doing you a favor. This is just what I want to make. And I think that's a reasonable and profitable amount to do it for.
Right.
I'm not trying to be the cheapest guy in town. I just am. Well, that's my story. I got the job. I need to order the windows tomorrow. And, I still might hire Jimmy to do the window install. I can still make money on it, even at the lower amount.
I still think you should charge them at least a few $1,000s more and just send some money my way.
Okay, I'll do it. Sounds like a plan. By the way, as far as that other job you helped me out with, how much do you want for that 30 feet of cord around? Because I ended up using one stick of it and leaving the others with them. Yeah, I used one.
I don't even know how much I paid for it. I probably paid like $30 or $40 for it.
What? You got ripped off, man. I mean, you didn't even get to use it.
I just billed the company for it, so I'll be making money up twice if you paid me for it.
I have now already forgotten the name of our first guest.
Rory?
I didn't get it. I didn't catch it.
Rory?
Rory. Yeah. Rory, does he do ceramics? I jumped in late on that conversation last time.
Does he do what?
Like ceramics or pottery or something?
Yeah. Pottery.
Pottery? Does he have like all the stuff for pottery, like a kiln and everything? Or does he go somewhere and do it?
It's through his school.
Oh.
Which he has graduated from. So I don't think he has access to it anymore.
Oh. So he's lost access to it.
Correct.
The only reason I'm thinking about it is because the computer and the camera are sitting on a kiln that I only 50% want to have here taking up space. Part of me wants to have it, and part of me wants it gone out of here.
I didn't catch what you said you want gone.
The kiln?
Well, I said, I don't know if I want it gone. I just don't want it in my way right now.
Man, when I can only hear 30% of the conversation, that makes it tough.
You're thinking about letting it move on?
Kind of thinking about letting it move on. Yeah. I mean,
well, because no one's ever used it.
Unless it can be used, could it be? Nobody's ever used it. Could it be used to smelt copper into ingot, or is it that? It's probably not that hot.
Probably not. It's too big.
Yeah.
You could use it for like normalizing metal for bladesmithing or something, or for tempering.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know if it's ever going to get used, you know?
What's that?
I just don't know if I'm ever going to use it.
I still don't know what we're talking about.
Dan has a kiln.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
How big?
I don't know how they measure them.
Yeah, I don't either.
That big.
I can't see anything if that's what we're doing. This is so bad.
It's probably about
It's
30 inches.
It's about the size of a 35-gallon drum.
35-gallon drum. All right. That's not very big. Did you used to make pottery, Dan?
No, I said to my dad one day it'd be kind of neat to have one, and the next day he called me with this. My dad got it from like the Restore.
Ah, okay.
Because I said something in passing about how it'd be neat to have one. Now I have one.
I mean, if you just want it out of your barn, you can store it in my grain bin, and then you still have one.
Does it stay dry?
Yeah.
Stay dry in there?
Yes.
I mean, I feel like if I would just spend a day getting it running, I would probably do something with it. But I just, like, it's like my shop vac. I've used the whole shop dust vac or sawdust vacuum. I've used it like 3 times. I've filled the bag 3 times since I got it running, but it took me a year to get it running. 2 years, over 2 years to get it running.
Yeah.
I don't even know if anybody can hear me at this point, but I have an idea.
Okay.
Let's play a drinking game where everybody has to take a drink every time that you can't hear the other person talking clearly.
What?
I didn't hear what you said. Does that mean I have to drink?
Oh man, we're gonna be drunk in 45 seconds.
What is going on? This is the worst connection ever.
This is the worst. I do kind of think like we should give up on this. This is pretty annoying. What do we do? Here, let's do this. Let's see if we just crap this thing out and just see if Zoom is this bad. Just for grins.
Yep. All right.
All right.
Dan, before
Let's just see if Zoom is this bad. It can't be this
Not
bad.
Your Average Guys show signing off. We'll see you next week.